So, like I mentioned earlier, I grew up in Shepherdstown, and that can be somewhat of a loaded statement, anywhere in a 3-hour radius. And the town has a huge energetic pool for me. I have a hard time leaving and a hard time staying. Actually, Frostburg right now kind of reminds me of Shepherdstown in like 2005, which is a compliment. Shepherdstown in 2005 was like very, very cool, which is why people from DC then all bought things, and now no one can afford to live there who grew up there, which is fine. I'm doing fine with that. But maybe, growth is important and necessary, right? Like, to sustain a community, things have to change. But Shepherdstown, the town, is a big character in my songs, and I write a lot of songs when I'm there. So this is one of several songs about Shepherdstown. pandemic, it's been a lot easier to talk about taking really difficult things and making them kind of funny. Like I worship at the altar of John Prine, who I think is a real master of like taking really difficult topics and making them like more palatable and laughable even a little bit. But I used to play that song and people would be like, that's really weird. And I'm like, if you do not laugh at it, it shall destroy you. I say this as I drink my glass of wine, but luckily since that time I've found some better coping mechanisms for the most part. And I started writing songs that have like somewhat happier tones. So this is a new song, it's not on the record. And it's a love song. Imagine that, a love song in the middle of the pandemic, which is when I wrote this. So maybe it was a little Stockholm syndrome, you know? I don't know, but we'll find out, because we bought a house together. fatalistic, you know. I'm your wedding singer of choice. If you're like, I love love and also am very pessimistic, call me. I don't do a lot of weddings, but that's my jam for sure. This next song, so something I've been working on lately as a songwriter, if you're interested in the very, very myopic process of a songwriter. I write a song every day, and I've been trying to make them not all about myself, which is an exercise in believing that the world doesn't revolve around me, which I'm not convinced of yet, to be honest. That's a joke. Did it land? I've heard that the best jokes, you have to clarify that they're jokes. Yeah. Dave is the master of a joke. But this next song is a fully autobiographical song. It's about a very dear friend of mine named Emily, and I like to. I just taught a class, a college class, for the first time about Appalachian songwriting, contemporary Appalachian songwriting, so in the 21st century. And I talked about ballad singing, which of course often takes real things that happened and immortalizes them in some way or another in song. So we know about, if you know the like very horrendous song Knoxville Girl, which is, I wouldn't recommend listening to on it's a great song for spooky season. It is spooky season. It's about a real murder that happened in England in like the 1400s or something. And we still sing it, and it's a real thing that happened. And there are lots of, John Henry is like maybe a more recent version of that, a real person who really lived and, did this Herculean effort and brought attention to the struggle of working people. Lots of songs like that. I like the way that songs can immortalize people, and so that's what I tried to do here. My friend Emily, unfortunately, is not here to hear the song, and she probably would have appreciated it to have like a trap beat or something, but this is what she gets, Emily was really smart and really funny, and she died for no reason, which happens sometimes, and I think all of us probably are experiencing a kind of like grief over the last couple of years, which happened for no particular reason, there was a real thing that happened, but like it's not like any of us like lit a cursed candle or something and then caused a plague. So that would have been really cool if that's what happened. Anyway. Emily, I turned mountains into valleys if it would bring you home. And I'd sell all of my possessions just to know you were home. silliest thought as I looked at my phone for the time. I went, I wish there was something like I could discreetly check the time with. And then I realized that I just invented a watch in my head. Did you hear that? Like they're trying to get AI to solve mass transit issues. They're like, how do we get people across the country quickly? And AI just keeps inventing trains. It just keeps being like, what if we put tracks and then there's like a big tube that people went into, and it's like that's just a train. It was inside you all along. Yeah.
If AI came up with it, I would.
That's true. It's like a GMO thing too. Yeah. This one's about audience. Yeah. Would you guys like a gig? I have a gig for you. This next song requires some audience participation. So the great thing about this is that it's you get to be in a song, you get to have a gig, like a musician. The bad news is I cannot pay you. This is the music industry after all, so you will be being paid in exposure.
Also like a musician.
Also like a musician. I will say, shout out to Clatter Cafe, we will be paid tonight. So. Not just getting paid in exposure tonight, but your first gig you'll probably just get paid in exposure right now. So the band's we're gonna play through the whole song, and then we're gonna repeat a part. So you're gonna hear this part once before, but it will be very important for you to chime in with me when Kyle slows the drum down. Kyle's gonna slow the drum down like this, and then I'm gonna say, "You could blame the time," and you're gonna shout, "Blame the time" back at me. So we can just practice. You could blame the time, blame the time. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna say, you could blame the day, and you're just gonna shout it. The yodeling is extra, and again, I'm paying you $0, so 0 times 2, still 0. So just shout it. You could blame, let's try it. You could blame the day.
You could blame the day.
Yeah, that's, you try it again? Dave's gonna help you. This one's a little trickier. It's advanced. You could blame the time.
You could blame the time.
Oh, you could blame the day.
You could blame the day.
See, and Dave is just going for that extra credit of $0. I don't pay Dave, he just gets paid in exposure.
Well, I sure need it.
I will say that once before, so don't be fooled. If you hear it one time, don't panic. Kyle will cue you again. Kyle, what does that sound like? Yeah. This song's called For God's Sake, and for some reason I have like 500,000 streams of this song on Apple Music, and it's all in Canada. I don't know, the Canadians love this song. It's in D flat, so sorry we didn't run it.
Taking the edge off of my day. These smiling
after that, and then we'll be back up playing solo and full band songs. I hope that sounds good to you, because it sure does sound good to me. So great to see such a lovely audience here tonight. I never do this song anymore. This is off my first album, Loose Cannon. It's called In the Valley, and I wrote it for my friend Christy, who I met when I lived in Guatemala City. Christy lived with her 3 kids in the city dump, because that's where she could afford to live, real estate, am I right? And she was wonderful, and she and all the women I worked with in Guatemala reminded me a lot of the women who raised me. I think there's a lot more that we share than is different, except for the language. She spoke like 3 languages, which she's got me beat by like 2.5 languages, so. I live at the foot of the mountains, of things that folks threw away. And my husband, he weren't such a good man. When he left, I didn't have much to say. At night, you can hear the dogs barking. Up the hill, the street lamps look like stars. Far safer than down in the valley. Heaven's always just past where you are. Won't you sing it one more time now? That old song and catch a call, like our mamas used to murmur when we had no cares at all. Close your eyes to remember where the hill meets the endless sky. That home we were meant to grow up in, where we saw Mom and Dad die. We arrived and I worked in a factory. Though I didn't speak the language well, I'd walk miles to that job in all weather. Miss the rain when it's hotter than hell. Fall asleep as the wind whistles by me, through the cracks in the roof of our home. Dream that wind lifts me out of this valley, but I can't leave my children alone. Won't you sing it one more time now? That old song, catch a call, like our mamas used to murmur when we had no cares at all. Close your eyes to remember where the hill meets the endless sky. That home we were meant to grow up in, where we saw play some new songs that the band hasn't had a chance to listen to yet. I don't love you enough to keep you. No, it's just enough to miss you when you go. Now you're standing in my kitchen telling me you're gonna leave. You're hoping I'll say stay, honey, I know. No matter what I do, I'm bound to lose. I'm bound for heartache, bound to leave a bruise. It don't feel right holding you so tight.